So my musical journey has been all over the place. I started working in the corporate world in my early 20s, and I went traveling. When I came back from traveling, I had all these songs that I'd written, and I was like, I'm going to pursue music now. And so I heard about Jeanot through my guitarist at the time, and we started working together on a first album, and this is actually our third effort together. So it's changed quite a bit over those 3 albums. It started as kind of this country pop vibe with like lots of 3-part harmonies and happy little guitar parts, and yeah, it's just evolved into madness ever since.
Yeah, it's been like a snowball that just keeps getting bigger and gnarlier.
Louder.
It started like this really kind of friends jamming in a living room kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. Saying, well, what can we do with these songs if there was a band behind it and it wasn't just you with your
just
guitar.
Me with my guitar, like beep, 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 beep.
But what we didn't realize at the time is that Sarah was thinking bigger. She's just keeping it to herself. Until album 3, and then she's like, no, this has got to be big. It's got to be huge.
Actually all started with a wig. I was just for fun, I just wanted to go to the wig store and just see, like, because my hair is kind of boring, like I can't do that much stuff with it. And so I went and I tried on this white glow-in-the-dark wig, and I just like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm a superhero now, like I'm buying this. And I started wearing it at shows just like to gauge reaction, I guess. And I was still kind of playing these like more country rock type of songs, but the first time I ever wore the wig on stage, we had a sold out audience at the Doug Fir, and like it was like a marked change where I all of a sudden felt like, okay, this is different, like I can do something with this. And I've always been into superhero stuff, and I've always liked the idea of dressing up and having themes, and like to me, like over time this character has like developed, and it was born with the wig, but it's developed over time. So it is interesting because that vision is only like growing the longer that we, play music together.
We're at the bottom of the barrel, it seems, scraping for morsels laced with lies and deceit. So much more than we really need. If you're hollow, do you know if you're really bleed? Something's lurking down deep in the feed. Tastes like poison and insatiable greed. Give me that much of me till I drown in a man-made misery. And I know this is weighing on you, and you know that I felt it too. For so long, for so long, and we got a job to do. Yeah, it's time for something new. Sound the alarm, sound the alarm.
And now that we have this iteration of the band that I really feel like is committed, and they get it, and they're in on what we're doing, it's only served to help my vision grow more. And so now with this album, it was like this time where I finally felt ready. Like, we've been talking about this for a while, we've had these songs for like a year and a half or so, and I wasn't quite ready to record. And then with the last couple shows, like now I have this costume, and it was like, okay, like I feel that this is developed enough to start recording. And then having Jeanot's rock background especially, I'm like, this is going to catapult these songs to the next level, which will then catapult us.
Which is totally funny, because on the first, I think that's really what you were feeling on the first or the second record, is you were ready to go more rock with it.
Yeah, but I still had some country ballads in there.
Yeah, you did. You so did have some country ballads. And the balance of that would have been really weird if you would have made, okay, let's have some country ballads, and then these really thick, raunchy rock songs. It would have been two
People would have been confused. People might already be confused by the last record. I mean, it's cohesive, but like between me with like the villain stuff on the cover, and then there's like a sad breakup song on there.
Yeah,
so
it didn't play into that character at all.
Yeah, it was fun, and that's a great record.
Yeah.
But I think this time we're
on the same page.
Yeah, we're just
Make
like
a rock
really,
record.
we're all in it. We're all
rock EP.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
we're
rock
making
and
a
roll.
rock EP.
Give me a feeling down in my bones. God only knows the things I would do to get you alone. You feel like treason to the status quo. Sounds like a reason to put on a show.
Like I said, my solo career, if you want to call it that, has taken many different forms, and the band has changed a couple times. Well, my lead guitarist, Everett Carlson, and my bassist, Aaron Schur, have been with me for quite a while now. I think the very first iteration of the band was Jeanot on bass and my friend Colin Johnson on drums, and then Jeanot's brother Matthew on drums. And so that we only played together once with that iteration, and then I found Everett and Aaron next, and Matt was still the drummer, and then I had Charlie McGowan as a drummer for a while, and that's when I had Sean Woodcock, who does our rhythm guitar, and then when we got Ian Garner in on drums, then everything really just started to click and mesh, and we have this camaraderie now where we can be silly with each other. Everyone brings good energy, and I feel like, for the first time we're a band, and it's not just like a backing band behind a solo artist. And so that's what I really wanted. That was kind of part of the vision of Sarah Wild. Like, our live band name is Sarah Wild and the Watch, and so they're the Watch, and it's part of the whole superhero thing where I'm this like vigilante character that's like trying to balance the darkness with like her desire for justice and like wanting to do good, and then I've kind of got these like Secret Service type dudes that are just like bringing the noise and supporting me, but I really feel like this being a band now has given them more ownership over it, and yeah, that's what I always wanted. I didn't want to be the one like solely responsible for all the writing, and now we're writing together, and it's taken my songwriting to places I wouldn't have gone otherwise, because I grew up with country, and so it's really like stuck in my songwriting. So these guys have really helped me get out of the box and start writing the music that I wanted to write.
Feel you close. You know the underworld has been my home away from home. Oh, little devil, give me your worst. I learned your tricks, yeah, I played your game. I'm one with her. 'Cause I got a love, yeah, I got a love that you'll never burn. Yeah, I got a love, yeah, I got a love that you'll never burn.
The last album that we did together, the EP, the Villain EP, it was a breakup album. Like, that's, every single song had to do with a breakup that I'd gone through, and so it very much followed that theme. And my writing after that kind of, my personal, spiritual journey through everything I've been going through over the last couple of years has really been, facing, the darkness, right? So not avoiding it, not running away from it, but really looking at it and start analyzing it and making peace with that dualistic part of myself. And so these songs are all kind of based on that journey, and they're kind of about going through hell to get to a better place, and really making friends with the demons in your head, and figuring out how to use those as strength. And I really think that it kind of defines a superhero's journey of I was really inspired by Arrow, the TV show Arrow, he was like my favorite superhero for a while because he essentially went back and forth between being a villain and being a hero, and then trying to balance this, like, do I kill bad guys? You know, like, he was killing bad guys, and people were like, well, you're a murderer now. And so figuring out, like, how to balance that and what actually feels right to the individual. And so that's essentially what this record is for me.
Third chance to make the record that she's been wanting to make since day one. She's given me 3 chances to do this record, so I feel grateful for that I've had 3 chances to make the record that's been in her head since day one. But it is my last chance, so if I don't achieve sonic greatness with this one, then this will be our final interview.
Over. That's not true. I'll probably work with him forever. We're doing it though. We're doing it.
But yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun record. It's gonna be rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
With CIA agents and superheroes and all kinds of pows and kapows and slams
High kicks,
and
back kicks, roundhouse punches.
Yes.